Hi guys, this is Dr. Nida with Keys of Health. I hope you're safe, well, and happy. I received this question after my previous video and I wanted to address it very quickly, very briefly because it is such an important topic, and that is foods that clean our arteries. You would be surprised that so many of our health concerns can be addressed simply by our food. That's because these conditions develop in the first place because of our food. We are not eating the right things at right times, in right quantities, and that leads to a host of problems which don't show up until later on in lives. So many times we simply associate these issues with aging process, and it's not true. What you put in your body in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you will begin to see the effects of it in your 60s and 70s. If you invest in your health now, you will have a wonderful, active life in your 60s and 70s with no major health problems. What I'm trying to say is don't wait to incorporate these foods in your diet until you have a problem. Do it now. That being said, let's go straight to our topic and talk about what are some of the best foods that can clean out our arteries. Arteries are the blood vessels that deliver oxygen-rich blood from the heart to the tissues of the body. Issues with arteries can lead to inflammation, calcium buildup, cholesterol buildup, scar tissues, and blood clots. Like I mentioned in my previous video, which I will link here, the best test to find out the condition of your arteries or what is happening in them is a CAC scan. If your scan results show that the numbers are high, become a lot more active and incorporate the foods I'm about to share with you, and then test again after 3 to 4 months to see whether the numbers are going down. I will start where I left off in my previous video, and that is fasting. Research has shown that fasting lowers one's risk of coronary artery disease, diabetes, and causes significant changes in a person's blood cholesterol levels. Another thing fasting will help with is lowering your insulin levels. High insulin levels cause inflammation in the body and arteries, thickness of arteries, and clotting. Lowering carb intake, especially refined carbs, also helps greatly. So definitely consider fasting. There are different types of fasting. Get in touch with your natural healthcare provider to see which method would work best for you. Now let's talk about foods which are good for your arteries and your heart. Foods rich in vitamin K2 are very, very good for you. They help prevent calcium buildup in the arteries in the first place. These include fermented foods like natto and tempeh, which are both made of fermented soybeans. Along with that, sauerkraut and kombucha are also very good sources of K2. Dairy products, especially hard cheeses like Colby, cheddar, provolone, parmesan, and Gouda. They're very, very good sources of vitamin K2. Liver and other organ meats, beef, chicken, and egg yolks. These foods are not hard to incorporate in your diet. You can add some of these to your breakfast and start your day with them. This next part is very important. You need to increase omega-3 in your diet and decrease omega-6 from your diet. Omega-6 is found in refined oils that are used for cooking nowadays. So oils like corn, safflower, sunflower, these are all sources of omega-6. Instead, use omega-3 rich oils for cooking. These include flaxseed oil, sesame seed oil, olive oil, mustard oil, coconut oil. These are all better than the refined oils we have gotten used to. You also want to get omega-3s from your fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel. You should also consider taking cod liver oil or good quality fish oil. One of the things that is standardly prescribed for heart patients is low sodium diet. Sure, all things should be eaten in moderation, and it is true that sodium and sugar can sneak in our diet from many, many unexpected sources, but consciously avoiding sodium can cause sodium deficiency, which can lead to lethargy, confusion, and adrenal fatigue. So a better option is to increase potassium in your diet. That comes mainly from greens and fruits. You should be consuming at least 4 large bowls of salad a day. If this is not happening, and I know for many of us it is not happening, I do have an alternative. I would recommend including dried fruits in your diet. Now, they are high in sugar, so be careful if you have high blood sugar levels and if you're not very active. Go easy on them then. But a bit of prunes, raisins, and dates can give you a nice amount of potassium during the day. Other fruits that are rich in potassium are bananas, oranges, cantaloupe, and honeydew. Now, here is what I would highly recommend you do if you're not taking enough salads. Get spinach, wheatgrass, and broccoli powder. These are packed with micronutrients and also contain a good amount of potassium. Add a tablespoon of one of these or a teaspoon of each in your smoothie and you're good to go. You will have higher energy levels and you will have a good amount of potassium, which you otherwise might not be consuming. Other foods that are great for arteries are beetroot, especially beet juice, pomegranate, again, especially pomegranate juice, and garlic. You want to eat raw garlic to get maximum benefit. I know it can be difficult. If it is too much for you, consider getting garlic supplements. I have shared a recipe on how to use raw garlic, which I will link here. Lastly, vitamin D. You want to get it both through food and sun. So spending at least 30 minutes a day out in direct sunlight is highly recommended. I know it will differ depending on the season, but try to spend as much time as possible out in the sun. Vitamin D rich foods include fatty fish, red meat, organ meat like liver, and egg yolks. If you notice, many of these foods contain multiple nutrients which are good for your arteries, so don't ignore these foods. After 3 to 4 months of following these advices, go for another heart scan and you will be very, very pleased with the results. This is it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. Please take good care of yourself. Don't forget to like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so now. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.